Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. On day 2 quarantine, it's Sims Picasso here. Today we're building a nice little colonial house consisting of 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. It's quite a, roomy build, but the inspiration I had was to create a nice, kind of like an old colonial look, hence the title. But I took a lot of inspiration from actually the buildings around Bridleton Bay, like in the city area. I just kind of wanted to make everything fit in and be cohesive, but that's basically what I had in mind for the build. Otherwise, it is day two on my channel of quarantine. This is my second video going up. How is everyone doing? Is everyone staying occupied, staying safe, staying inside? And things are kind of getting crazy, but as long as I think you wash your hands and you stay inside during all this mess, everything will be okay. Puts a damper on a lot of things. So hopefully this YouTube video gets your mind off of it. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I really do like this build. I never actually built something like this before. I usually create like big Victorians or little Suburbans, but this little tiny colonial is something that I've never built before, so it was kind of a really nice change of direction and trying new things. I really like it. I'm actually really proud of it, and it came together fast. I think it only took me like an hour or 2 to build, which is pretty good. I do consider myself kind of a slow builder. I bump into a lot of, building blocks, you can say, where I have a hard time putting together, the floor plan, so I have to come back to it an hour or maybe even a day later. So I was really surprised of how quick it came along. But yeah, so this is the, kind of the city part of Bridleton Bay. We have the nice little, the actual bay, the waterfront right along behind the building, the house rather. So yeah, it's a cute little location. I think it resembles, the actual city. It looks like it was built keeping in mind and reflecting a lot of what's already there. So I really like that. I love it when builds are nice and cohesive, especially kind of like with a lot of the towns in this game. We have you can't actually play with the houses in the background, but I do like to kind of mirror what the Sims team and the Sims creators have already created into the actual builds we can play with. It just makes everything look nice and pretty, not like an eyesore or anything. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy that as well. So yeah, I kind of use 2 elements. Yes, it's a colonial, however, I did, in my opinion, and what I was kind of aiming for was kind of a coastal look, especially because I live in New England, so a lot of the buildings, a lot of houses look like this, where, it kind of has that old touch of things with the colonial, but it yet has that kind of coastal feel to it. Which I tried to do in this, because I think Bridleton Bay is supposed to be kind of I think it's supposed to be, well, at least it tries to mimic how New England is. You know, it's very, some parts of it is rural, but a lot of it does have, you know, some city and industrial, you know, vibes to it, as well as little, you know, suburbans. But we don't really have like suburbans, because I'm actually, you know, I was born in New York, so I grew up in suburbs and the typical suburban house. But I found recently, when I moved to New England, a lot of the houses aren't like, you know, the typical suburban you see. A lot of them are older houses, you know, with brick buildings and like, you know, that colonial and coastal undertones in it. Especially the part where I'm from in New England, it's very historic and, you know, very, it looks a lot like this building actually does. So, it kind of struck, well, I can't talk. As usual, though, I can't talk anymore. Anyway, it struck a... Okay, I lost track what I was saying. Anyway, I think it looks nice is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah. But going back to the build, you can see now, I mean, it has its general shape, and it's pretty much not going to change after this. I think I do switch over the little balcony to the front of the house, like that little entry balcony, whatever you call it, thing. But yeah, so the overall shape isn't going to change. It's coming together. So the family I envisioned, you know, for this house is a typical family, 3 kids, 2 parents. It is a 4-bedroom house, 2-bathroom. You know, I kind of wanted a smaller house for, you know, your average family, you know, whether that's a legacy family or, you know, just normal gameplay. I thought, you know, especially for a legacy, I think it would be great because it just has that flexibility. It's a small house, small lot, and it's fairly affordable. I think it came to like 100,000, which isn't bad technically for a little house with all that furniture and furnishing. So, you know, it's fairly, I think, realistic and perfect for a legacy kind of gameplay. You know, yeah. But I envisioned them, you know, one of the parents being a painter. I put an art easel in the back later on in the video. You know, I ended up furnishing 1 bedroom for like a teen or a kid, another for a toddler, and then the 3rd kid's bedroom nursery, which I really wish they had more like nursery furniture. That's one thing I would probably ask The Sims for, because a lot of people play with babies. I don't understand why, you know, they don't put like cribs and stuff. Like, why do we have a bassinet? I think that's not really, you know, realistic. And like, I noticed when it was hard for me to fill up the nursery because of that reason. Like, we only have technically a 1-tile bassinet. That's not a lot of room to take up. So yeah, I kind of struggled with that. You'll see later on in the video, but I just really wish we had some actual baby furniture. And I know a lot of people have been asking for it, especially with that poll thing that came out a couple months ago. It was a couple months ago, I think. They were asking for like what expansion pack or something we would like to see, and it was asking like what would you like to do. Like it was like the ski stuff, like skiing and the hotels and stuff. That was a couple months ago. I think that was either before we started voting for the new upcoming stuff pack that's community voted, or after the first round of voting for that. But they did send out another survey kind of thing, asking like, you know, like I said, about hotels and what we would like to see next. And then, you know, they kind of did a comment section box, like a free answer type of thing. And I know when I took that, I put, you know, actual nursery furniture, because it's just the most frustrating thing. Like, I really miss that in Sims 2, how we had the little diaper changing table, and then we had, you know, the actual crib, which was cute. I just don't know what they were thinking, but anyway, thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.